Hey, what's up, 7 Fivers? Sky in the ceiling. How you feeling?
I'm feeling very tired. How about you?
I'm also feeling very tired. It's literally the last day of the week, and it's after school on a Friday. So
Yeah, I'm also like highly congested right now.
that was me last
I'm
week.
having
I can't
crazy
lie.
allergies. Like everything is making my eyes burn. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's quite
sorry.
interesting. It's okay. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
It's been a little minute. Lots are happening. Our school's been going through like a tough time, and I think like the end of the year, like everyone, especially juniors, are just burnt out. I'm personally burnt out.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah, so we just thought we'd give you guys a very real life update on what we're doing over the summer and what life looks like now. What are you doing over the summer?
I'm doing a couple things. I'm gonna be taking a UCLA summer course,
Same.
Intro to Psychology. That should be pretty
Nice. That should be
pretty fun.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm taking advanced next year. Or I
Yeah.
have that as my first choice. I'm doing this program called Boys and Girls State, which is it's basically like a mock government for a week. And so yeah, I'm they have like a bar test, like a mock bar test if
Oh
you want to
my
run for
god.
office or be a lawyer. So me and my friend might try and lock in for this mock bar exam. And
Do they give you time to study or something?
well, I mean, there's the period between when it starts and
And
the end
that's
of
so you
summer.
wow.
So I mean, they handed it out like a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, my mom
I'm
said the
sure.
bar. My dad said like the bar. Both my parents are attorneys, and they were like, out of all the hell we went through for law school, that was by far the hell. Like they were like, because you could like my mom has it too, and like mom has it too. Like the stacks and stacks of binders they had to like read constantly to like memorize stuff. Yeah, because it's like a 3 day exam, and you just sit there all day for like 3 days or something like crazy like that, and like you only get like 2 breaks to pee, and it's just like insane. It's just a super long test. And then the worst part about the bar is that you take in California, like my parents said, if we moved to New York, they'd have to retake the bar
Yeah.
for New York. So that's crazy.
I think it's also something similar like that with being a therapist.
Oh yeah, you have to re-get certified or something?
Yeah, because it's different state by state. Mm.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I'm doing that. Another thing I'm doing is I'm working sort of on my own project that's related to
Mm.
mental health, actually. I'm thinking of doing this documentary. I don't really have a title for it, but it's
Mhm.
like mental health throughout the decades. And so the whole like overarching goal of it is to show the progression of mental health since, maybe the start of it, or
Mm.
since like, I don't know, my starting point for some reason right now is like 1950s.
Mm.
And I'm thinking it's like a little bit like post war era, a
Yeah.
little bit like post World War II, at least like things are like, industrializing more and like
There is
kind of a
some like
boost.
I was talking to Dr. About this, but there's some really cool literature that you'll have to look at for this because the beginnings of people like understanding women having mental health, like because we always talk about men's mental health not even focused on, but really like women's mental health, the fact that like it wasn't them just being like crazy and like hormone, yeah,
Hysteria.
hysteria. So there's some really good like char Perkins Gelman, I think. She wrote The Yellow Wallpaper. We're reading in advanced English. We read it already, but she was like one of the first writers to talk about and like really explain the experience of an upper class woman going through anxiety slash depression, or it was postpartum depression, and like what that looks like. And for the first time, people took her seriously. She did a lot of messed up things, but like that was like one of the good things that she
Mm.
did. But yeah, around that time, a lot of female authors were writing about what it was for a woman to have mental illness, and it wasn't just I'm going crazy and like I'm going crazy, like I'm having hysteria, and yeah, but yeah, that's just like a whole other section that really opened up the thing. But yeah, just as
Yeah.
bad as mental health for men is looked at right now, women's health was also looked at like psychotically.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad oh my goodness. I'm glad you brought up that last point because now I feel like it's almost a little bit more flipped. Like I feel
Mm,
like at least like stigma wise, like it's more acceptable for women to talk about their mental health than it is like for men.
yeah,
But, it's equally as
yeah.
important.
I guess before it wasn't like I guess before both of them, it wasn't okay to talk about, but like
Yeah.
at least men, they kind of for those who did talk, they would like give them a diagnosis rather than I
Yeah.
think you're just crazy, you know? But yeah, the world has kind of shifted a lot where now we do have diagnoses and we give them to everybody, but like men specifically can talk about like feelings in general. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's good.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, the documentary sounds really fun. Like a big part of it was just like people like because all people did back then was read because there's no social media, and
Mhm.
so those were the things that slowly opened up the conversation where people reading stories and being like, I like this story, and it also talks about blah 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 blah, like women facing things, and I'm sure there's other things about men facing things, but I just read something on her, which is why actually I read something on her so bad that she though she did many good things, like she was this she helped the poor, helped immigrant women, or so not immigrant, regular poor women, white women, but she like was for the sterilization of Asian women and Asian immigrants during the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Oh my
So we
god.
because yeah, it was that's what we were
That's
reading about her, and I was like, but like what we were talking about in history is like you can't just wash out all the good things someone did because they did a few bad things.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Hagiography.
And then hamartiology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Big
we're learning about that
words.
right now. But if you guys don't know, hagiography is when you like it like for example, our class is doing it's a history class. So we're
Mhm.
talking about JFK and how like everyone idolizes him for like the Camelot and like his wife and being a Kennedy. But people forget like was he actually a successful president? Like did he actually do anything? Or do we just
Mhm.
like that he was like a attractive
He
president?
also, I mean, was a little corrupt in the sense that he was, like, quite polygamous. Like, he had, like,
Yeah.
a couple of affairs
Yeah.
that were
Famously with Marilyn Monroe. But
yeah.
then the other one, hamartiology, is where, like, for example, we're talking about Nixon and Watergate. So it's like you forget their accomplishments, anything positive they ever did because they made one huge mistake, Watergate in this way. But I really, my eyes were open in that class because I did crap on Nixon a lot, but I kind of feel bad now because he did do a lot of good things. It's just he did a lot of bad things too.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think it's all around, like, the context, and it's like you even, like, with with, like, the instance of, like, Watergate, like, it's not like that like, people, like, think that he didn't even, like, order the search.
Yeah.
It was just that he, like, tried to cover it up was the wrongdoing, and so it's like, the covering up really, like, shows sort of, like, I guess, a lot about his character, but it could have been, like, out of fear or it could have been out of, like, necessity or
Mm-hmm.
it's there's, like, sort of a lot to it, and it says a lot about, like, what, like, a person, like, sorta is, like, made up of, you know? Like, what is this person's background and, like, what are their, like, tendencies
Yeah.
a little
100% I
bit.
agree. Nice.
But, yeah, what are you doing over the summer?
So this summer, well, I'm going to Texas to celebrate Father's Day with the rest of my family, and
Ooh,
then Sam and I are gonna go to Washington, the state. We're going to a Native American reservation called Yakima Nation, and we're going to build roofs for people there who don't
wow.
have a roof anymore because of like I guess like crazy rain or something. They don't have a roof anymore, so we're gonna go there. I'm also doing a UCLA summer course on the history of California. I apologize for my sniffling, but yeah, I'm really excited about that, mostly because I've been really into the 60s and 70s on like the Summer of Love and stuff. So I'm really excited to learn about that. And then I am being a research assistant at a early American literature organization. And basically, I'm going to be, it's kind of hard to explain, but they have like 2 journals every year where they collect a bunch of scholarly stuff from like, professors and stuff or like people who are academics. And then they just pick a few to put in this journal and then they'll invite like the best, most interesting one to talk on a podcast about it. And like the podcast I listened to recently, it's very academic. Like if a child were to listen to this, straight white noise. Like it's just sleeping music. But they want it to be like an education for like a younger person or like an undergrad or a high school student to not just be like, "Oh my god, this is so boring." Because like, it is so boring. If you're not interested, like, I don't know why you would read this, but I'm gonna like do you know what's his name? Hank Green? Is
I've
that
heard
his
of
name?
him.
Yeah, he's the guy who does Crash Course. So we're
Yes.
basically making the stuff into more Crash Course-esque, like 10-minute, 5-minute videos. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then that's like the bulk of my summer. Zach and I are obviously applying to college next year. So like
Yeah.
essays are also a huge chunk of my summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I was also gonna bring that up, like, the essay writing and getting, like, everything done as early as possible.
I'm literally going bananas thinking about it.
But, like, I'm so scared I'm gonna procrastinate it because, like, 2 summers ago, I told myself, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going into, like, algebra 2, like, I
Mhm.
should probably, like, learn a few things before going
Yeah.
into it, like, to get ahead." Did not do it. On the last day of school, I brought home a textbook for algebra 2, I did not open it up.
No, I'm really scared of procrastinate too because I realized, well, I've become like more unemployed because I've been delegating things to middle schoolers or other people learn how to do things so that when I leave, they're not going to struggle. And like being bored slash studying boredom has made me a procrastinator. And it's frankly like awful, hopefully it doesn't happen for these essays. Because they say, like, the most important thing is to just start early
Yeah.
and work on it the whole summer and not procrastinate it. So that's the goal. Also, I am getting into painting. I don't know if the podcast, if we filmed an episode when this was happening, but my bedroom flooded with sewage.
I think we
Yeah,
did.
okay, yeah. And it
Yeah.
destroyed my easel because, like, the wood absorbed. Because we can, like, sanitize all, like, the glass and the metal and the plastic, but, like, wood soaks up sewage, so there's just nothing I could do, so that easel is dead. So this weekend, I'm going to go buy a bunch of art supplies and a new easel and get back into painting.
Easel kind of sounds like a name.
Like, you know that thing that people go, like, if it wasn't, like, if the word didn't have a meaning, I would like that to be my child's name.
I did not know this.
Oh, yeah, because someone was like, I love the name. It's an SUD, but they were like, I love the name. It starts with the CL.
Chlamydia?
Yeah, they were like, I just love the name. And I was like, and I was watching the video. I was like, wow, that's so funny. And the last thing I'm going to do, it's actually going to be like, I'm messing it. During this podcast, I've been hyper aware of me and you doing it. So I saw this girl on TikTok do this, and I'm going to start doing this too. Every day for 60 seconds, she talks to a camera saying things, and she doesn't use the word like, or any filler words.
Oh my God, I need to do this.
So she practiced it. She's been practicing it for a while because I follow her, and she was saying that over the past, like, she's been doing it for maybe like 3 months, she's realized, like, more people have been complimenting her speaking at her job, and, like, she does presentations better, and, like, people are actually caring or understanding what she say. And, like, her first video, you'll see her, she goes, so I'm gonna brush my hair, and she waits a second because she's gonna say the word like, oh, I'm gonna, like, do this and like that. So she goes, I'm gonna brush my hair, and it makes you actually think about what you're saying because she says that things of substance now. And so I tried practicing it last week. It's such a fail. I lasted like 10 seconds or 12 seconds. I'm gonna try again this summer. That's like my plan. See, I just did it again.
I need to work on that a lot. I say the word like so much.
Maybe our next podcast episode, we try to do it without saying the word.
The L word.
The L word. Yeah, the L word. I actually think that's a good idea. So that's what I'm going to be doing this summer. Highly recommend you guys try because it's so hard. Like, oh my gosh.
Like, oh my gosh.
Like, oh my gosh. It's really difficult. But apparently, you sound more confident speaking, and people will take you more seriously if you do so. And I personally would like to be taken seriously. That'll be my activity.
I might second that, honestly. So do I. Need
Yeah.
to be taken more seriously.
Awesome. So that's what we're up to this summer. Let us know what you guys are up to.
Yeah, let us know. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.